It's Bourbon Night. Hello, I'm Chad.
I'm Sarah.
And we went back out there into the world recently, Sarah.
We did. We ventured out a little bit, but it was for you.
We went and saw some distilleries.
We wanted to check up on how things are going. You know, a lot of places are opening back up, distilleries in Kentucky, though some not.
Right.
And we kind of wanted to give you guys the inside scoop because we've been getting some questions on what's it like to go on a tour right now.
Now, first of all, a couple disclaimers. One is the information we're going to give you in this video is current as of July 22nd, 2020. Anything that might change after this, we claim no responsibility towards. And then there is one other disclaimer, and let's take that away, voiceover guy.
The information in this video has been gathered through our personal experiences and from distillery websites. This video in no way lays claim to guarantee safety. Bourbon Night is not encouraging or discouraging travel. Our only goal is to convey information about the current procedures that are recommended and necessary to visit distilleries in Kentucky during the pandemic. Thank you.
Wow, he talked really quick.
He did.
Really fast.
So let's kind of talk across the board, Chad.
Sure.
Across the board, I think we saw a lot of what you would expect. We saw 100% mask wearing.
Lots of gloves from people who work at the distillery.
Mm-hmm. Lots of sanitization. Signage.
Yes. Signage, social distancing.
Yes.
Hand sanitizing stations. 50% capacity. Just about, I think that's across the board.
I think that's across the board too.
Yeah.
Definitely reduced capacities and social distancing. With the mask thing, so the first place we stopped was Preservation Distillery. And a lot of that tour was outside. So once we were outside and we were all able to space out, we were allowed to take our masks down if you wanted to.
Yep.
So that was kind of nice. It was a hot day, so it was appreciated. When we got there, they did take our temperature, which some places are doing.
Right. That was actually the only place of our Saturday that we had our temperature taken, but it's no big deal. You know, it's those forehead zap laser
No contact
things that just, you know, the worst could happen is they shoot in your eye, you know, but
You'll shoot your eye out.
You shoot your eye out with a laser.
Right. So temperature checks, it sounds like, are being done at Buffalo Trace and Wild Turkey as well.
Buffalo Trace seems to be the most kind of locked down, and if we want to, for a minute, just address Buffalo Trace. So basically at Buffalo Trace, it boils down to having your temperature taken, but then also answering some questions.
Yeah, you gotta do a little questionnaire quiz thing.
Yeah.
At which point you get a wristband once you pass go. And if you do not have a wristband, you should not be on the ground. So it's not like normal where you can just come and go. They are really trying to keep a handle on who is on the grounds.
Yeah, no cash transactions at Buffalo Trace. Of course, it's not completely across the board, but it's definitely recommended for credit card transactions.
Credit card preferred, if not required, at most places.
Also at Buffalo Trace, you know, they have like a bazillion tours. Well, tours are cut down. So most places that would take you into the distillery are not doing that anymore. Like, for example, later in our day, we went to Bardstown Bourbon Company. They said they're not allowing tours into where the actual distilling is taking place.
Right.
Again, just for health reasons.
Sure, and they actually talked about that a little bit when we were on the tour at the Preservation Distillery. I mean, if you've been on a tour and you've been in a fermentation room, you know that people will often be allowed to stick their fingers in the mash and get a taste. Well, that definitely can't happen right now. And if they have open containers at all, there's no way that they could allow people in that could potentially compromise the bourbon that they're distilling, because that's a huge loss.
Yeah.
So yeah, we saw a lot of reduced options for tours, and not only that, but like we were saying, the reduced access. So for example, not being able to go into the distillery part of the facility, not being able to go into, like, for example, at Buffalo Trace, the Blanton's bottling hall. Again, they don't want people coming in contact with the place where the bourbon is going to go. So definitely some restricted areas.
For sure. Going back to Preservation Distillery, there were signs there that said, please do not touch the bottles, ask for an associate to help you, and that's just to minimize, you know, you picking it up, oh, that's a cool bottle, setting it
back down.
Some places just limit it completely, like we saw on Angel's Envy's site. They actually have a PDF like menu of items in the gift shop, including their whiskey, that you can then call them and say, I would like to order these items. You go up there, and I believe they're offering a curbside pickup is where you can get carbs like bread and pizza.
That sounds delicious.
Curbside pickup. Well, you just go. There's many places that have curbside pickup. Yeah, Jets Pizza, please. curbside pickup where they will bring things out to you, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's right. So Four Roses, Evan Williams, and Angel's Envy, as you mentioned, are just the ones that we know of that are offering curbside pickup right now.
Okay, before we go on with our experiences out there in the real world, we want to tell you guys about a place that's on the web. It's whiskyambitions.com. It's where you can get t-shirts such as this, or Glencairn's, rocks glasses, water glasses, challenge coins, and more, always coming soon. That's whiskyambitions.com.
You can become a patron at patreon.com/itsbourbonnight for as little as $1 a month. You can join our community in conversation and get after the episode exclusives and more coming soon all the time.
All right, back to it. Another thing that's very cool, Evan Williams is doing curbside, is they have this listed as a tour, basically. It's an interactive tasting tour. You can order these. I think they're 2 days a week at 6 p.m. that they're doing this. You can purchase this kit, and then you go home, and we haven't done it, so we don't have all the details, but I guess you get a link, and then there will be a virtual guided tasting through 5 of their whiskeys here. So this is their wheat whiskey, their wheated bourbon, vintage dated bourbon, which is the Evan Williams single barrel, the Elijah Craig, which is their small batch, and then their rye whiskey, which is Pikesville. This is enough for 3 people to have 100 milliliters each.
That's a
pretty
good amount.
Pretty cool. $60 I think is what the tour costs. We've seen these in stores for $50. So just $10 for that guided, virtual tasting.
Sure. I mean, and if, you are sharing it with another person or two in your household, that you can split that up. So that's kind of cool. I really like that places are coming up with virtual options or things like that. Now, Buffalo Trace had the virtual tour, I think, planned before all this happened, but it just so happened to come out around the time that that COVID hit. And it is another cool way that you can explore a distillery and kind of learn a bit about it without actually going there, since some of their tours, like their ghost tour and their hard hat tour, are not available right now.
They're not available right now. So later on in our day, after preservation, we went to Heaven Hill. We saw a line at the door, and we're like, what's
going on?
This about? They have a 1 in, 1 out. So basically they have a max number of people that can be in the gift shop. So they were waiting for people to leave, and they let other people in. They're also checking to see if anyone had signed up for a tour, which we had. We took the Bottled and Bond tour, which is just a tasting tour.
It's just a tasting.
Pretty much any of these places are going to be a 50% of what their normal capacity can be. And then another thing that we saw a lot throughout the day was directions of like, this is only an entrance. And then this year they had some stanchions set up. This door, this way, exit this way, please. And that's just to prevent people from crossing and things like that.
All right, some of the distilleries are technically open. Their visitor centers are open. However, they are not currently offering tours. Some of them are just doing tastings, or you can go into the gift shop to pick up a bottle or, merch or whatever. But for example, we went to Willet and we had lunch at their restaurant, but their tour was closed. Four Roses is another one where their gift shop is open, their visitor center is open, but no tours. Jim Beam and Angel's Envy are also in the same boat.
Yeah, the Still House at Jim Beam is also closed. The restaurant at Maker's Mark is closed. So Willet was really the only one. Willet and Bardstown Bourbon Company, who were the only ones that we saw that had food options going on right now. But then there's also distilleries that are just flat out closed completely. Those being Michter's. Temporarily, yes. Thank you.
Don't start rumors, Chad.
Thank God.
Temporarily 100% closed.
Yeah, Michter's
and Woodford.
Michter's and Woodford.
Yep, are the ones that we know of as of right now. Now there may be more, but yeah.
We're basically just taking a zoomed out view of the big ones that are on the trail. Well, and Buffalo Trace, which isn't on the trail, but yeah. Another general takeaway is to make a reservation. Some places are requiring it.
Yep.
Other places are strongly requesting it. You have to think limited tours and limited tour sizes. Yeah, some are like 6 people is their max. Varies on the distillery. But you definitely want to call ahead. I noticed Wild Turkey said, even if you are not doing a tour, but you just want to go to the gift shop, you still need to call ahead and make a reservation. And again, that's just to limit people,
Too many people gathering
gathering around. So make sure you call ahead or visit their website and make your reservation ahead of time. Very smart.
So for the places that are doing tastings, for the large part, are doing disposable tasting setups. So if you normally get, like at Preservation, they said they normally have a nice tasting mat. Unfortunately, not able to pull that out because there's just no way for them to do it safely and sanitize it between each use. Other places like that, like Buffalo Trace, are doing disposable glasses when you do your tasting. Now, one place that we did go that wasn't doing that, but for good reason, was Bardstown Bourbon Company. And I think the reason that they can do that is because they have, you know, typical glassware, but they also have a kitchen associated with their tasting bar where they have, you know, the appropriate industrial dishwasher.
Sanitization.
Right. Appropriate temperatures and sanitary measures. So, but everyone else pretty much was doing disposable.
Another place, although we didn't get to do a tasting per se, but at the restaurant at Willett, we got and this will be coming soon, look out for it, Booker's Batch 1 tasting that was, of course, served to us in a lovely Glencairn. So they're also doing glassware because, again, they have a kitchen, they have the appropriate machinery, dishwasher,
right,
to sanitize it. So you're having to wear a mask, yeah, that's kind of like a duh. But of course, in case you're wondering, well, how can you do a tasting with a mask on? You are able to remove your mask during a tasting or if you're eating at a restaurant. But at the tastings, of course, you are spread out 6 feet or more from the people that you're around. So they're doing it right. We didn't go to a place where we're like, oh, this seems sketchy. No, not at all. Everyone is following the rules and doing it to the letter or even above in some places.
Yeah, sure.
So we felt safe, but it is also up to you.
Totally discretionary. That is 100% your choice. This video is not trying to convince you that you should go out there and take a tour. Obviously, guidance can change at any time. We can move forward, we can move backwards. We don't know at the time of this video, and we don't know how you feel, and we don't know what your own personal health situation is. So definitely, this is just to provide you with points to consider when you're trying to make the decision of whether or not you want to come to the Bourbon Trail.
And if you do decide to go out and visit some distilleries, we understand because we were missing them too, and we hope to go visit more. But if you have any other questions, leave them down in the comments. Hopefully it's something that we can answer, or if not, we can reach out and get those answered for you.
So in summary, you should first do your homework. You need to research the distilleries that you'd like to visit ahead of time, book in advance, even sometimes if you just plan on going to the gift shop. And keep in mind, they may not have the tour that you want available.
Next point is go ahead and leave that cash at home. Take your plastic. It's all they're pretty much going to accept.
Be prepared to wear a mask, social distance, and practice recommended hand washing and sanitization. Get your temperature checked and sign some paperwork.
If you're looking for a specific bottle, you might just want to go ahead and call the distillery. A lot of them are allowing you to place an order over the phone or on their website and offer curbside pickup. Of course, more rare bottles will be excluded, sorry.
And of course, we hope you stay safe and have fun.
And there you go, that's where we will leave it. If you haven't subscribed to us already and like to do so, we'd love to have you. You can click right up here to do so. There's also suggestions of other videos. We hope to see you over there in those. Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Chad.
Okay, as she said, stay safe and drink more bourbon.